And we are recording with Mr. Harry Fisher. Excuse me, on Wednesday, July 12th, 2013 at 4:41 p.m. Eastern time. I think we scheduled this one a while ago, and I always do that. Sometimes I'll just schedule a guest like a month out, and I'll be like, that date will never get here. It's far away. And then I just sit here one day, I'm like, oh fuck, it's tomorrow. But yeah, man, introduce yourself, buddy, for all the listeners, and I guess for myself. I think Dr. McCullough put us in touch.
I'm Harry Fisher. I'm a paramedic. Been doing EMT and paramedic since 1997. Been a couple branches of the military, Army, Air Force. Currently working in Alaska on a contract. Been doing contracts since pretty much the start of COVID. Did contracts anywhere from New York City, North Dakota, all the way to Oklahoma to Alaska, all over the place. So I'm a little tired right now. Forgive me,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I'm in a tent.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
no. There's like EMT contracts. I always figured
Um,
you just like worked for the city, like a cop or like a fireman.
Yeah, I mean, since contracts got really, nursing has been nurses, mid-levels, doctors, they've been available to do all kinds of different contracts. But since we started having national shortages of medical personnel, especially when COVID hit and we lost a whole lot of people, um, for many reasons, anything from fear of being around COVID to hospitals just laying people off because they wouldn't take the shot, all kinds of reasons. But we've been available to take contracts, and I mean, hell, even CNAs. I mean, which CNAs do hard work. I mean, anybody that looks down on a CNA is crazy because they do some really hard work, especially in senior homes. They're doing all the hands-on work, making sure they're taken care of, clean. There's a huge shortage of CNAs, so they'll even contract CNAs to go to senior citizen centers all across the country. It pays double or more to actually go do those contracts. Mm. It's a good and bad thing. It's good for the people that need to make a little bit more money whenever inflation's occurring. It's bad because it really takes away people from your hometown. So
Mm.
whereas my hometown right now is lacking medics, but those private companies can't afford to pay us to keep up with inflation, but these contracts can actually get federal money and pay us extra additional money to come do these contracts. It's good and bad. I mean, it's good that my kids are getting to eat and have, I'm providing milk and eggs. It's bad
Yeah,
for my town.
yeah,
What can you do? Sort of roll with the punches.
yeah.
But that said, I've been doing contracts for a while. COVID wards, ICU, ER. Um, I worked in New York City, Lower Manhattan, in a COVID ICU and ER. But initially, whenever COVID hit, uh, I was pretty much working Oklahoma City, a place called EMSA in Oklahoma City. They run the biggest ambulance service out of Oklahoma City. It's pretty much their major hub. Um, then they started doing these shots, the COVID-19 shots, which COVID in itself, they hit us, with all the propaganda, how terrible it was. And it is, if it hits you hard, it's bad. I mean,
Sure.
COVID's bad. I mean, it's no fun and definitely has taken lives. But they were overly pushing the narrative to try to scare the hell out of society. And they scared the hell out of society. And then they ushered in this new technology, this shot, and they did it really fast. Warp speed, actually, I believe is what they called it. I mean, they warp speed this whole project. Logistically speaking, I've never seen anything across the world that stopped the world and told everybody they had to take this same experiment. I mean, in human history, I don't know if that's ever occurred.
No.
I don't believe it has. That being said, that at the start of it, I was like, okay, well, I mean, we have a drastic problem. They're constantly blaring us with this problem, and I was seeing COVID cases, and I was seeing people get sick, and but I didn't know it was going to require an experiment. But whenever they hit us with the experiment, I was working OKC, and I got a call to a vaccination line. You remember how the hospitals weren't able to give those shots themselves? They were doing it in like parking lots,
Hmm.
Walgreens. Well, the hospitals couldn't take on the liability because it was not a really approved product. It was just emergency use. So these hospitals couldn't take on the liability of it. So they were doing it in like parking lots. Well, Mercy Hospital in Oklahoma City, had this really big push for vaccines, and so did a bunch of other hospitals, and they just did it in their parking lots. Well, I got a call to a full arrest to one of those vaccine lines, and I get there, and the lady's on the floor, and there's a full arrest, no pulse, no, she's not breathing, no pulse. Fire department's doing CPR. I commenced to start working the code, which a paramedic working the code, we make sure CPR is good, make sure there's an IV in place or an IO, basically just access to actually start pushing drugs, cardiac drugs. Got the monitor on, intubated the patient, and what I noticed, there was just abnormal bleeding. The patient had blood sort of coming from the eyes, nose, mouth. It just wasn't a normal code by far. And while we were working the code, a nurse came over that was working the shot line. She was a nurse that I guess was contracted to that shot line to actually give shots to people. And the nurse was pretty frantic. And she said, quote unquote, "This is the second one in 2 weeks." Well, my brain was just like, because on TV and everyone was saying safe, 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 safe and effective, safe and effective, safe. They drilled that into you like they wanted to program you that everything in the world was safe and effective. It might get loud for a second. I'm sorry, but I think I'm gonna have a helicopter flying above. So if it does,
you're good.
I apologize.
You're good.
If you're listening.
You're good, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it just, that right there just sent off red flags in my brain. Like, I mean, whenever you're hearing safe, 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 and then you're working, literally have your hands on someone's chest trying to get them back after, their second Pfizer dose, and a nurse says this is 2 within, a short period of time, it's pretty wild. That still, though, it registered with me, but it didn't click because, I mean, like they always, how they like to parrot correlation isn't causation. Like that was a really big thing they love to say. Correlation isn't causation. Correlation isn't causation. It's amazing how so many people that weren't in the medical field were trained keywords to say to people whenever they were arguing the debate. They were just parroting what they were supposed to say. But either way, I still was like, okay, it could have been anything, just because there's 2, God rest their soul, but it could have been anything. And not long after that, I went to New York City, started working contracts there, and I started running or having people come into the ER that were very young, having heart attacks. And it was just in the years that I've been doing this job, seeing 20-year-old heart attacks. I mean, it normally consisted of people doing methamphetamines, hardcore drug addicts, and are just people that got a hold of the wrong drug, or 20-year-olds just don't normally have heart attacks. Not normal. It's not normal. It happens, but it's just not a normal thing. I started seeing enough numbers of heart attacks, strokes, cancers in young to young adults that started making me, I just started asking, because I was starting to put it together. Like my brain was finally going, hey, Harry, there's something weird here. Doesn't make sense. So I started asking my patients, like, have you had any of these shots, any of these vaccinations? You would be amazed at how many people just get pissed off just for you asking that question. Just get angry. They would just, because I think something inside people was starting to like slowly wake up to the fact that they might have made a bad decision.
Sure.
And I don't want to rub that in anyone's face by any means, but I also want to.
It doesn't feel good. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to collect the data, though, because I was also going on social media and just asking questions. And then in the comment sections, TikTok's comment sections, Facebook, when I was allowed to be on Facebook, I would ask questions and have these long conversations. And I was noticing that, 1, people didn't like to talk about it. And 2, you would be inundated with bots and other just, I don't want to say paid actors, but just people saying the same things and just coming at you, trying to straw man argument you, trying to ridicule you, trying to get you to just be a jerk, when I just wanted to collect data. So I started collecting all this data and finding out that most, if not all, of the young ones that were experiencing the stroke and heart attacks all were post-mRNA shots. So they all were post-vaccination. I don't like calling it a vaccination either, because I've never ran vaccinations with this much trouble. It's a new technology. So all of them had taken this new technology, and all of them were having these horrible side effects. Anything from heart attack, strokes, death, cancers, seizures, new onset seizures. And the seizures were strange. So I put all that together, and then I got to North Dakota because I went on a contract there on a native reservation after New York. And in North Dakota, I saw the worst I've seen so far was in North Dakota on this reservation. They had this huge push, basically making, I mean, they didn't force, you know how they always say, you weren't forced to take it, but whenever they make your life completely difficult and make it to where you can't do what you're normally able to do, can't provide, that's, to me, that's the form of force. I mean, if I'm saying, hey, it's going to be very difficult for you to eat, ha ha ha, take my shot, that's a you know, that's a tongue-in-cheek force. I don't know how you want to say it, but it's forcing, in my opinion. It's almost, I mean, it's just horrible. So they did that to this reservation, and I saw lots of spontaneous abortions, miscarriages, lots. Like there was one time we saw like, I mean, nine miscarriages in one night. And for a paramedic, I mean, yeah, no, we intubated our nurse manager. Our nurse manager had her second Pfizer shot and had multiple blood clots in her lungs. She had to be intubated. I don't even know if she survived, to be honest with you, because not long after that, I ended up taking a different contract. My contract was about up there. One of the nurses that worked with me, she's a 28-year nurse. Her husband died a day after his second Pfizer shot. That same man's brother died a week after, and they both died of heart attacks. So two brothers died within a week of each other from their second Pfizer, after their second Pfizer shot. It was just getting so obvious at this point. Like, I mean, the numbers were just like, I even had a doctor in North Dakota, the ER doctor. This was a surreal moment in my life. The ER doctor pulled me aside after we had intubated the nurse manager. And I was pretty vocal about everything I was seeing just because I'm not a not vocal person. And I don't know, when I see a snake, I point at it. Does that make sense? Like, hey, there's a snake. Don't get bit. And a doctor pulled me aside and she said, hey, Harry, we're experiencing genocide. And it was just such a wild moment in my life to see an ER doctor in an ER pull me aside and whisper basically that we're experiencing genocide. That doctor retired not long after that and didn't want anything else to do with the medical field, was just done because she had seen that this was just horrors. Like we were watching a horror movie play out in real time. So I went on. But at that time, I was like, okay, I'm done. Talking to all these people, seeing the crazy stuff. So I'm going to go on social media. And I put a TikTok video up. Didn't know what else to do. I mean, at that point, I mean, it's like you're it's like you're fighting a ghost at that point because it's so big. I mean, what do you do? So I put out a video and I just said, hi, I'm a paramedic. I've done CPR to Pfizer line. They lost 2 patients within 2 weeks. It's pretty much the gist of the video. And it's pretty much all of it. Like I just did that. Within 24 hours, it got well over millions of views. But the views didn't really, the views was like, wow, I didn't know that many people would be interested because I thought they were all just going to ridicule me. But the comments section, I was reading through all of the comments and how many people lost their uncle, their brother, their mom, their best friend. They would come on and they'd be like, I lost my best friend a day after. I lost my mom a day after. I lost my mom 2 weeks after. Thousands and thousands of people who lost or saw injuries. It was staggering. And then what really pissed me off, that pissed me off in itself, but then what really just took the cake is they deleted the video, deleted all of those comments. They deleted all of that proof, all of the stuff that our government's supposed to be going like if you really cared about society, if our CDC really gave a shit, if our FDA really gave a shit, they would be looking at those things from the start and going and investigating. They deleted it. And then they said, and the reason behind deleting it was quote unquote terroristic activity.
Oh,
that pissed me completely off. Yeah, that was like on another level of
that's
just like, all right, well,
I got banned from every platform for medical misinformation. I never got the terroristic activity. I'm kind of jealous.
You're oh, dude, I've got the misinformation. Hell, today on one of my videos on TikTok was deleted for quote unquote misinformation. I mean, they love to use that broad one. But yeah, the terrorist activity, I mean, for someone who's been in the military, actually gives a damn about our country, is watching genocide occur and hasn't burned down any buildings or done anything crazy. I've just been trying to be, hey, you need to educate yourself. And I'm trying to give people informed consent. I'm not, see, the thing is I'm not completely against technology. I'm not completely against mRNA per se. I mean, even though right now it's looking like bad idea for the moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, the technology itself has some really, really wild, cool ability,
Mm-hmm.
or abilities. The bad thing is based on our controllers. I don't know how better to say that. The people that are in control of all of this, able to censor me, censor you, do pretty much anything they want and get away with it. They're not good. They're nefarious. And that being said, whenever you're implementing technologies like the ones that, like the one that they did across the world with people that are nefarious in control, they can do some really jacked up stuff to humanity. Anything from track and trace to create clots to, I mean, the technology we have, the existing technology is beyond what most people will ever research, will ever understand. And most, whenever you start talking about it, will just stop caring and walk off or just not give a damn. And if you start talking about the deaths that have occurred already from the mRNA technology, you'll get people either mad at you, not wanting to know. Um, I mean, that's just sad. And then they just bleep out and want to go on to something else. Or you'll have the few that it can actually carry on a conversation about it. But that's pretty much an echo chamber at this point. I mean, we have the select few people that know something bad's occurring, um, and want to. I think we all want to do something about it. The problem is what can we do whenever the insane people are actually running the asylum?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I'm noticing. I mean, I'm literally been. I mean, I've literally been witnessing, like that doctor said, genocide occur or democide. I don't know what you would want to call it, and there's not a lot. There's not a lot that can seemingly be done other than trying to get people to stop taking the new technologies that are being forced upon them. Basically, stop consenting to all of this that's occurring. Do you have any ideas? Like, how would you suggest stopping this plan of theirs, this agenda?
I think the enough people speak up. I think it's a firsthand experience thing. I think you have to speak up and you personally have to get censored. Because if you don't know anyone and if you personally have been censored, it's very easy to just write it off as their kooks until all of a sudden, your buddy Bob gets kicked off Facebook and you're like, Bob's the nicest person I know, and his mom died. He just wants to know what happened. He's not a and he's not a Nazi. He's not a conspiracy theory. And then you go, oh, and what it's going to take is it's going to take someone who's saying it's safe and effective, and their whatever the fuck son-in-law is going to die of a blood clot, and not only is it going to be horrible, but their wife is going to talk about it, and then their wife's going to be censored and ridiculed, and you're going to go, oh, this is evil, and then it's going to dawn on you, oh, there's something going on. I mean, I've been at this for 3 years now, and unfortunately the best answer I have is I think you have to have firsthand experience. I think that's the only way anything is going to change. And if you haven't had firsthand experience, that the beatings will continue until morale improves. I think the shots will continue. I think the censorship will continue until enough people have personally been fucked.
I agree. And what's even worse is the all the implications from the programming and from what they've done to push all of this on people. The amount of fear I mean, the amount of fear that they drove into the public's minds, the shelter in places, the put on your mask, the distancing, they've screwed over not just a generation, but I would say generations. They've
Mm-hmm.
screwed over so many people. The amount of suicides I've seen went up. The
Yep.
amount of I, I mean, whenever we were talking earlier, that was what went through my mind is just the amount of suicides that I've seen since all of this doubled at least.
Yeah.
Um, it they it was a very, I hate talking this way because it sounds so conspiracy theorist, but I can't rationalize it any other way. Whenever they're taking away good information that actually would be the way to get, when they're taking away good, solid information and demonizing doctors, demonizing people that are actually on the ground, boots on the ground, that are seeing things that are actually occurring, then I have no other way to put it other than they're trying to depopulate portions
It's
of our world.
it takes
Um,
a it takes a long time. It took me years to finally kind of warm up to that idea. And it's like the vast majority of sexual assaults occur by a family member, right? And I can only imagine. I don't have kids, I'm not married, and no one that I meet, well, I know some have been sexually assaulted. I mean, I can imagine there'd be like, I have brothers. Let's say I was married and I had kids, and let's say one of my brothers babysat, or let's say I babysat my brother's kids or something, and the kid and he started noticing, and a therapist would be like, well, these are the telltale signs of sexual assault, and you'd start looking around, and you can't figure out who, and eventually the creeping feeling would come out. It'd be like, dude, did Uncle Tom do that? And you don't want to fucking, but eventually you go rationally, there's no other answer, and this is also my son, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. And then the dark demon appears, and it was your Uncle Tom, and that motherfucker did it. And if you say it, anyone will be like, dude, how did you go? I've gone through it too, and I understand you don't want to look at it, but this is what fucking happened, and it sucks.
right.
And when the truth becomes so like a live wire, you stop caring about how because one, you just stop giving a shit what other people think, but two, you're like, I'm looking out for this kid. So at a certain point, you can only, like I've done, interview so many hundreds of doctors and look at so many data points across so many fields of people that don't know each other. It's not like you guys are all in a group together and getting your story straight for Tommy. I'm interviewing people that have never talked to each other, doctors in another country, and an EMT in Alaska, and a bioweapons expert from here, and blah blah. And you look at all of it, and then you look at everything they're saying, and then you look at the trends of oil prices and bullion prices and grain and war, and eventually you sit back and you go, gun to my head, I gotta choose one of four multiple choice answers. What's going on? Yeah, they're removing a lot of people. You're a conspiracy. I don't give a shit what you say. There is no what they know how to make money. You do a housing bubble, you start a war. They know how to do all this shit. Too much effort went into this for one outcome and one outcome only, and they're suppressing everything that does work. It's either depopulation, and if it's not that, it's a global, it's not one country, it's a global digital totalitarian dictatorship, and they're using this as a means to control people. That's what it is. And you can look at it and shy away from it as much as you want, and I did for a long time. I'd be like, well, I don't think it's that, but you finally start to look at it and you go, then what is it? And it's what it is. And it's what it is, and it's hard to,
I,
it feels like it's surreal, but it's what it is.
I agree with you. I agree, and I would go. I would say they were smart enough to do a hydra of things with it, with this technology. I would say that they depopulated. They were setting up for the digital currency and a digital economy that you're talking about. They're wanting to make people docile with all of the amount of propaganda that was pushed on everybody, the mindset that they all have. I would say it's a whole bunch of things that they were capable
Mm-hmm.
of doing in this process, and they're setting us up for something that's coming, for a way to keep us completely controlled. And it's sad. It's terribly sad that it's occurring, and it's what's even worse is watching people walk around like drones, the ones that just don't care unless it directly affects them. Like, I was talking to someone yesterday, just here in camp, and they literally said, unless it affects me directly, most of the time it just doesn't matter. It's a quote. And I, I just can't comprehend that mindset. And I asked him, like, can't you empathize? I mean, do you have any empathy? Do you have any ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes? And the way that what mind control that they've been doing for so long on the American public, on the world, but certainly the American public, it's gotten them so complacent and so selfish, self-centered, that unless you come up and hit one of them directly in the face with whatever, they're not going to do anything. They're not. So they took the society that could have actually stopped this. Out of all of the societies out there, we could have had an actual shot at stopping this from occurring. but all of our faith has been put in the science, um, to the point of where we have blind faith in the science. Blind faith so much that we'll walk happily into an experimental line to take a shot that we think is our savior. And I'll tell you something that was really crazy. Tried to put this video out there and it got censored too after I saw it. But when I was doing CPR in the front of this line, imagine, I don't know how many people were in this line. It was a bunch, like a lot. Just imagine a lot of people in like, you know how lines are at Six Flags, how they make those where it's like a line that goes back and forth. And I looked over my shoulder at one point, just because you don't do CPR in front of that many people often. And, you know, I just remember looking over my shoulder and I didn't see one single person leave the line.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. Like, if I had been standing in a line at Six Flags and I saw the damn thing crash in front of me and someone dying on the ground, I'm not riding that ride. Like, I'm getting out of the line. Like, I'm not one person left the line.
Yeah. That's I think that's one of the most surreal things is, I remember I saw a video where somebody's like, they like, I don't know, they like they put like a treat on the ground for like a dog, and then they put like their hand in a dog puppet, and then there's a real dog, and they take the dog puppet and they put its face in the bowl, eat the food, and then they go like bah, they like play dead, and the dog will get like a mouthful of the food, look at the dead puppet dog, and then open its mouth and drop all the food out. And they did it like again and again with like cats and dogs, and I think they did it with like birds, where they like eat a treat and then like bah, and they like play dead, and the animal would just go. I mean, it's almost comical. They'll go, and they'll let it all fall out, and then it pans to just it literally shows. Maybe it was you. They just show like an EMT doing CPR, and everyone's just standing in line. No one's walking away, and you go, "Good Lord."
Yeah, it's one of the sickest feelings I've ever experienced. Just because, and especially when you processing it later, it just reminded me. Actually, it makes you feel like we're in a society of robots, and most people can't break the system that they're trapped in, and
It
it's
feels
very
like the
difficult.
Matrix
And
or like the Truman Show.
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be a lot like, I mean, a lot like that. I mean, it's just, I have a friend. He's really all about the zombie apocalypse. It's always funny. I like because he just likes to talk about, give me zombies, give me zombies, give me zombies. And I don't think he grasps yet, but he's surrounded by zombies. I mean, whenever people don't ask about what they're putting in their body, whenever they just follow what's being told on TV, and we can prove that they're lying to you on TV at this point by not only clip after clip after clip and lie after lie after lie, but I mean, it's you're either zombies or battered spouses. I
Yeah.
mean, at this point, I mean, the entire nation reminds me of a battered spouse. They constantly think they're not going to be hit again. I swear my government's not going to beat me.
Yeah.
I swear
They
they
love
love
me.
me. Yeah, no, they're going to eventually kill you, and that's what I tell my patients. I will literally say right now. The last one I had, I said, ma'am, your eye is 4 times the size it's supposed to be. You walked barefoot all the way to the police station. You have blood all over you, ma'am. You need to go ahead and have him arrested. No, 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 no. I mean, and she wouldn't, and I'm sure she went home after treatment, after going. I'm sure she went right back to that, and we know how that ends.
Yeah.
We know how this ends. It's sick. It's twisted, and I appreciate you like having me on the show. I appreciate that I got to talk to Dr. McCullough the other day. I appreciate that some people are actually awake to the horrible things that are occurring and trying their best to get this out. Trying to fight a system that's like Goliath. I mean, this system is Goliath, and we need a whole bunch of Davids willing to just sling that rock in the right direction, because it's been very disheartening. It's just been very disheartening. But I'll be working in Alaska, and they're still pushing the shots here. Like even on the radio the other day, I was listening to just the local stations, and come get your COVID-19 shot. If you care about society and care about da 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 da, come get your shot. They're still pushing it, and that just amazes me. We have so much data now, so much information. This should be criminal. Like this, there should be people already being thrown in jail. I mean, do you agree that people at
Yes.
this point, would
Yes.
you? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's at this point, and I don't mean to sound cold, but at this point, it's almost Darwinian. I get having the wool pulled over your eyes early on. It's a pandemic. Maybe, again, I'm single. I don't have kids. It's easy for me to like quit my job and be like, yeah, fuck off. I'm not getting this thing. I get it. You're a parent, you got kids, you got a job, you got whatever. I'll take the fucking shot. And, you might even be stupid. You might go, yeah, it might kill me, but that's a risk I'm willing to take for my family. That's admirable. You might be busy. You might be going, yeah, whatever. It's you have no reason. You go, yeah, get the shot, go back to whatever. But now, 3 years in, unfortunately, I think it's Darwinian, and I think it's a form of psychosis. Yeah, it's Stockholm syndrome. It's battered wife. It's you don't want to wake up. Um, at this point, I'm really not. I think that there is a moral and ethical duty for individuals like yourself, myself, anyone that does these videos or posts online. You have a duty to do the right thing, even if it seems like it's never going to work and you're banging your head against the wall. You're going, who the fuck is still getting a shot in July 2023? But I think it is your duty in the eyes of God, the creator, karma, or just do the right thing, that you do still have to do your best and speak the truth. And even if that helps one person, I don't, I've kind of made peace with it in my head, in that I don't know if we're going to see us win in our lifetimes or if it will ever happen. But this whole experience has kind of brought me back to believing in God and believing that what's the quote? A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they won't sit under. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think you have to do the right thing, even if there's no chance of it working, because to be consciously aware that something bad's going on and not doing anything, that's evil, right? Evil exists when good men do nothing. Are we going to win? I don't know. Are we going to win in our lifetimes? I really don't know. I think we just have to keep doing the right thing, even if it means like, yeah, man, we're going to go to our grave, probably not winning. Um, Whatever this life is, simulation, weird 3-dimensional space time, and we're monkeys walking around. We have hands and eyeballs, and we piss. I don't understand any of it. We're kind of getting into like the psychedelic philosophy. What is the nature of reality? But at the very least, with a functioning human brain, to, at least what I think is a functioning brain, we are in some sort of test, and there is good versus evil. That's, if you're really to boil it down to a thesis, I think it's that. And you have to do the right thing. And maybe it's not a test. Maybe there is no God. Maybe this is all for nothing. I still have to do the right thing because I can't live with myself if I don't. So I know that was kind of a tangent, but that's
No, it's good.
yeah, I think that's what it
Solid
is.
tangent.
I think you have to do the right thing.
Yeah,
I think this problem
I agree.
I think it's presented itself thousands of times over the course of man. Nazi Germany or whatever the fuck. You just go there, Civil War. You got to free the slaves, or you got to, it's just to fight the queen because they're giving us a tea tax, or just whatever, or the slaves in Egypt and Moses and whatever you want. It's presented itself a million times. It'll probably keep going. In 1,000 years, there'll be some new iteration of it's not right to send galactic lasers to wherever it keeps arising. And I think you have to do the right thing. I don't know what the big picture is. I don't know if I like to I like to think there's a God looking out for us. Obviously, I can't know. I think it's a some form or another. It's a test. That's the best. That's the best conclusive summary I have. Is it's a test. And it's frustrating. but you have to do the right thing.
I agree. Is it too loud on y'all's end? I have a chopper hovering above me.
No. Zoom does pretty good job at canceling other noise. I can't hear shit.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I believe there is God. And here lately, I realized it doesn't censor as much whenever I utilize AI to talk. Not actually my voice, but like on TikTok, I've got a channel on TikTok, and I've been talking directly to. You ever heard of GPT?
Yeah.
I've been talking to it and doing just hypotheticals with it, like taking hypothetical mRNA questions mixed with graphene, mixed with quantum dots, and the Internet of Bodies, and what could be adverse reactions by utilizing, in the worst case scenario, with, if it was utilized for nefarious purposes. And I'm letting it actually speak and say the scenario, and I'm noticing that's not getting censored as much.
Oh.
But some of the things that it's saying is, it's everything all these doctors that I've been listening to is combined, and the AI is just confirming it is all it's doing. I mean, it's literally saying, it's pretty wild. If you get bored and you want to see AI actually say some crazy stuff that you've been actually researching, check that out. It's been only the last few days I started doing that. Decently shadow banned. I mean, but it's yeah, they definitely like to shadow ban.
Yeah.
You're being shadow banned whenever your videos get like 50,000+ views, and then you're right on target, and they don't want to censor it because for whatever reason, and then you suddenly get 200, 300 views, and that's all, and it'll stop completely. They've been doing that for years.
I know the
It's
censorship
just
game. Yeah.
it's the censorship game that really, it's so annoying to be censored. I don't wish this on, God forgive me, but I do. It would be nice if everyone in the world could just feel at one time what it's like to have your voice taken away.
Oh no, I do
Just
wish,
what it's.
I'll disagree with you. I do wish it on people. I don't wish actual harm on people, but in terms of a harmless lesson, yeah, I do wish people would get censored. Know what it feels like, and they go, "I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just trying to."
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Welcome.
I do wish it on people.
Welcome to the world.
I do wish it on people, even if it's just a picture of your ass in a bikini. No, I hope it gets censored so you know the frustration. Yeah. No, I
I mean,
do wish it on everyone.
it'll happen. I mean, it's the pendulum always swings, and I mean, it's definitely going to happen to most in some way, shape, or form. Sadly, I think it's going to be it's already too late. I mean, they've already introduced the building blocks to 1984 meets AI.
Yeah.
They've already introduced the building blocks, and people don't even know that AI exists at this point. They have no clue what they put in their body. None. And I don't think they even want to research it. So I'll say that to say this, and I'll leave you with this just because I need to get to work, or
Sure.
but I hope and pray that we've seen the worst of it. I don't believe that's the case. But I hope that with every video you make, every video that I make, all the other people out there that are trying, I hope that each one of us consistently find and reach out to at least one consistently to keep them from taking something that can harm them, or keeping their family, their friends safe. And eventually I hope we all come together. And God forgive me, but put a boot in the ass of the assholes that are doing this to society, because they need it. I mean, they're harming children, they're harming innocents, and that's not okay.
It's pure evil. No, it's absolute pure evil. You know, I think, this is a perfect time if God wants to show how badass he is, it'd be to turn this bitch around. That'd be a real flex on the demons in charge. I don't know. We've seen the worst of it. There's nothing else to do but just to keep going. It's a shit answer, but there's nothing else to do but keep fighting. Like, I can't. You just have to keep going. And it's not a fun answer. It's not a sexy answer, but we just have to keep doing the right thing. It's just what it is. And, I don't know. Can you send me a link to your TikTok so I can put those show people like those AI videos and stuff you're making? I think he's frozen. He might be frozen. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Let me text him. I think you froze up. Yeah, I think you froze up. Well, he might have to. He might have to go. Yeah. So that's or we just got nuked by the AI because they think I'm a bad person or something. Um, so I think that's what it is. Well, we're gonna wrap this up then. I'll get his TikTok and I'll put it in the description. Um, and yeah, man, just keep doing that. I meant everything I said. I just do the right thing, dude. It's the only way this is gonna get remotely better. It's not a fun answer. As Terrence McKenna said, the real problem in life or the real hardship in life is not finding the answer, it's facing the answer. Finding the answer is going, I need to lose weight. Facing the answer means it just means to eat less. What's the secret? There is none. I'm going to be hungry. Correct. It's just what it is. That's the part of dieting. But then no shortcut. You're just going to be hungry. But my stomach hurts. Yep. It's just what it is. I don't want to go to the gym. It's going to hurt. Yep. You too, homie. Yeah, so his internet cucked out. So that's what it is. That was a cool episode. It's a cool guy. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And we will. Who do I have tomorrow? I don't know who I have tomorrow. Got people tomorrow. Guys, thank you for watching. Just keep doing the right thing. And thank you so much. Take care.